Mr. Transformers 96 here with another video review. This time I'm going to be reviewing a Marvel Legends figure, and it is Mysterio from the Lizard Build-A-Figure wave. So this is one of my most anticipated Marvel Legends figures of the year, probably my most anticipated one, to be honest. I'm a big Spider-Man villain fan, and Mysterio is my second favorite Spider-Man villain. The only one that I enjoy more is Carnage, who's my favorite just Marvel character in general. So Mysterio is very high up on my list of characters that I like, and getting a Marvel Legends figure is something that I've wanted for the longest time, and we finally have it, and it is really good, so I'm very happy about that. So let's go over the figure. Overall, I'm really liking this. There are two different versions. There's a clear kind of white dome, and then there's a greenish dome. The green one is the more rare one. That's kind of the variant version. I think the white one actually looks better, but I do like the fact that there is a green one. I think it's cool. I'd love to get it eventually. Not willing to spend like a bunch of money for it or anything, but I would like to acquire it one day. But the white dome I do think is the better looking one of the two. So as far as the head sculpts, since we're on the domes here. Now, the dome is very interesting because it is kind of like a frosted, clear plastic, because you can see through it, but it's like a very dull ability to see through it. It's very frosted-like. However, there is a head sculpt underneath, and this is very exciting because I didn't know about it until I got the figure. Like, I knew there was a head sculpt underneath, but I didn't know what the head sculpt was. But getting it out of package, see if we can soften the light a little bit so you can kind of see it a little more. But as you can see, it's a skull with like a tentacle going through the mouth and out the eye and wrapping around the neck. It's super cool. It's very creepy like, but it gives the really neat illusion when it's inside the dome that there's just something really creepy and mystical underneath, which is very cool. But of course, you know, if you don't know, Mysterio is just a special effects artist for film, like practical special effects, and so he uses his knowledge of special effects and practical effects to trick people into thinking that he is like a mystical being, even though he's just a guy. So yeah, so I do kind of, it's a rather cheesy little explanation there or a little backstory. It's the cheesy backstory, but I like it. It's very cool. Mysterio is just such a cool cheesy villain because he's got a cheesy motivation and background, and he's got a cheesy look, which I love. So I couldn't be any happier about that. But the head sculpt is great. I love the fact, because they could have easily just put like a blank head sculpt underneath, but no, they went the extra mile to actually sculpt something very unique that really fits with the character, which is nice. The body sculpt is 100% new, because of course it needs that checkered pattern. Now, what's nice is, you know, a lot of times when they do a Mysterio figure, the checkered pattern is just like drawn on there. This is actually sculpted. All those lines are sculpted into the body, which is wonderful. That little extra mile really helps. His gauntlets, I've always been a big fan of his gauntlets. I love the gauntlets, the way that they flare out and have little decorative pieces on the edges, and then I like the inside of them, all the little loops, and almost gives you that kind of smoke effect, but in a practical sense, which is cool. His hands are excellent. I love really expression based hands, and he's got a really nice kind of like grasping, angry hand here, and then he's got like an open, like using his power, shooting some smoke out type of effects here. His cape is quite nice. It really flares up extremely high, but that's completely accurate to the comics. He's got like these metallic eyepieces on them, and then of course it falls. On the back, it's rather plain, but on the inside there's tremendous detail. As you can see, it has that kind of like smoke effect, just kind of circles, half circles throughout the entire thing. So excellent detail there. And then his coloring is, he's got a very dark purple for the cape, he's got a dark green for the body, and then he has like kind of like a metallic lime green for the other pieces, and in that metallic lime green there's some like dark green kind of wash into it, especially in the boots there. You can totally see that. So yeah, he does come with a couple accessories, these like smoke pieces, and then like there's like a tentacle like throughout this one and things like that, just to give you more of an illusion like that there's like a snake within or a snake and an octopus within the smoke. So that's kind of neat. You can do a lot with these. There are like actual places that I believe are supposed to like snap onto his leg, although I just don't like the position that those are in, so I prefer just to kind of wrap them around just kind of like this, so that it's just like there's smoke coming out from behind his cape, that type of thing. So it looks pretty cool. These are nice little accessories that are completely, like, if he didn't come with them, nobody would complain, but since he did come with them, it adds to the figure. It makes it just even better, so I like that a lot. It also is nice for pictures, just to be able to use smoke effects for the pictures. You can do more with them, so I do enjoy that quite a bit. The only thing I could have, like, wanted is maybe, like, little smoke pieces that just tap into the eyes, so they're, like, shooting out of the eyes, because in the comics, the eyes kind of shoot smoke, so that would be really cool if he came with that, but that is of course unnecessary. As far as articulation, I mean, head, he's got a full range of head motion, but you don't need any head motion because Mysterio, you know, you can't see like inside of it basically. You can only see a slight outline, so he has head articulation, but it's not necessary. Ball hinge shoulders with biceps, so double hinge elbows, which because of the gauntlet don't work that well. They go about this much, which is more than 90 degrees, which is very nice. Swivel hinge wrists, which work really well. He's got an ab crunch, which can go forward this far. It can go back this far. A little unnecessary though, just due to the fact that he has a cape on. Swivel at the waist, ball joint hips, which can kick out this far and up this high, which is quite nice. Swivel at the swivel at the thigh, double hinge knee, swivel at the top of the boot, and then hinge pivoting ankles. So overall, he has your standard Marvel Legends articulation, really not hindered in any place except for the head. But of course, this is the one scenario where you don't need any head articulation in the slightest. So overall, this is an excellent figure. I think it's absolutely fantastic, personally. Just character-wise, I love it. And then figure-wise, they did the character a great justice. They did it as good as it could be done, essentially. I don't really see how they could have improved upon this figure really at all, because I think it's excellent. So overall, I'm very happy with this Mysterio figure. I would highly recommend it if you don't have it. It's a very hard figure to get. It was the most popular figure of the wave. Personally, I've never seen it on retail. This wave in general I find a little hard to find on retail, but I've never seen it on retail, and yeah, I did buy it on eBay. That was the way that I had to get it. But overall, love the figure. Can't wait to complete my Sinister Six. Dr. Octopus is the only one left, and of course he is in the most recent wave, so I do plan to pick up that figure to complete the Sinister Six. I'll probably do like a Sinister Six video on its own, just compare them all, because we finally will have like the Sinister Six, which is great. So there you go, that's my thoughts on the Marvel Legends Mysterio figure. Let me know what you guys think of it, and thanks so much for watching.